I think like one of the things I'd like to talk about is the protective factors as parents we do, maybe overprotection sometimes where we're worried so much for our kids that we buffer them and hold them in. And that prevents resiliency.
Well, that creates this notion of you have a problem. This is
Yes.
actually scary. You cannot do it, right? Like sometimes I have this experience where I'll tell a child, let's say a child who's like, doesn't have severe symptoms, who can already come to the office without the parent. And so I'll say like, whatever, like, Mary, come in. And I don't make eye contact. I just start walking. And then I see the parent like, are you okay? Do you feel okay? Are you sure you can do it? And then all of a sudden the child was ready to walk in, and now that like the parent's response scares them, and now they start questioning, maybe I can't come into the office, right? And so we need to be very cautious of that, because what we want to validate. Don't want to be like, what's wrong with you? This is not a big deal. I understand that this feels really hard. And we got this. We can do it together. And I know that, I know you will be able to overcome this, right? Like, so you validate the experience and you push for growth.
Yeah. And by meeting them, as you said, where they're at. So I think it's about not just bouncing back, but learning to navigate their anxiety and teaching them the skills. So if they're feeling anxious, meditation, even like I teach the little guys can do little box breathing, right? That's a way for them to cope when they're feeling anxious or dysregulated, and being able to recognize the feelings, within themselves. So I think we talked about a lot. I wrote a lot of stuff down. We talked about the tolerance of uncertainty and discomfort and being able to be okay with it, but to be able to figure out what can I do to make this easier next time, and that it's growth. The recovery from setbacks, that, okay, I wasn't able to do this, but look what I was able to do. Anything you want to add to anything I'm saying?
They're very little, as because we would discuss, they don't have like that much metacognition. You focus much more on like the exposures and so on. But as they get older, you can go much more into the thinking traps, right? Like, my brain is telling me that this is going to be horrible and they're going to make fun of me, but are they really? Is there enough evidence for that? Is this a thinking trap? And you start working much more cognitively with them, right? So that for so many of us, even adults, believe that a thought is a fact, right? Like, if I think you hate me, you hate me. I don't know if you hate me. I don't have any evidence for that. This is just a thought come like a thinking trap, right? And to start challenging that, I think, can be also very empowering for kids.
So with the little guys, one of the things I think you're sharing as is more giving words for their feelings to help them identify as they're young, because they don't have the skills yet to be able to figure it all out developmentally. So we'll train parents to give them word that seemed frustrating for you, and starting to help them understand what they're feeling, and to be able to say, that seemed easier. This seemed easier now. That wasn't as scary. And so we use a lot of feeling scales and things like that to help them begin to relate to things being hard or scary. Little guys tend to feel scared. But teaching the parents to give them the words for their feelings, and to be able to drone different ways to get out their feelings helps them as well. I'm sure you see that too. And then
with my daughter, just a quick example, I used to use, there's this children's book, something like The Little Train That Could, like The Little Train That
oh
Could.
yeah,
Like,
oh my God, that's my the little engine that could.
That one.
That's
And
my
so
favorite book.
Like, I think I can,
Yes.
as it's going up. I would use that metaphor. Like, remember the little engine, blah, blah, blah. I think you can. Tell yourself, I think I can. Like, you find things that have meaning for them, right?
Oh, that's my favorite book. Whenever anybody has a baby, I give them that book to read, because I read that to my kids, because you're right. And first of all, you can only do what you believe you can do too. Right. And so we have to convey, yes, this is hard, but look at all we're doing and look how far we've come. So I do that a lot in session, where we'll, even for like 5-year-olds, like when we first started like working together, look where we were, look what we're doing now. And it's like you help them realize, whoa, I've come far. And you start to see them sit up.
And I would see my daughter, like, if we were going somewhere when she was going to try to talk, she would tell herself, I think I can, like, to herself, like, as a skill,
This has been great. This is a great topic. Anything else you want to say to our listeners? Because I know we need to wrap up. We talked about a lot of stuff.
I would just say that I think that selective mutism is like, we have really good treatments for it now. And kids can make a lot of progress, and they're, they will get better with the right treatment, and that parents should be very hopeful about that, and that they have it's one of these treatments where parents can make a big difference. It's not just like an antibiotic. Like, you can actually make a big difference in your child's life.
And it is about the parents changing and their ways and understanding how to read their child. It's not about cure my child. They have to be actively involved in this process, as kids will not overcome it. It's not about just the child, it's the parents and the
If you only
teachers.
do one, yeah, if you only do one exposure a week in therapy, that's not gonna get you that far. But if your parents continue over the week, then you will make a lot of progress.